Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope all of you are doing good. So today's video is going to be very exciting. As you would have seen the thumbnail, we are building our first ETL pipeline using PySpark. Now best part about this video is you don't have to install anything. Everything you can do online on namastesql.com. I will just show you how to go about it, how to put the filters, and then we will create a ETL pipeline where we will read CSV data from a GitHub data source. We will transform into PySpark DataFrame. We will do data cleaning. We will do data transformations where we will create new columns, and then we will join data sets, do aggregations, and then we'll produce a result. Okay, so if you are learning PySpark, this video will give you a hands-on experience on how to apply PySpark transformations, and it will help you learn data engineering. So let's start. Okay, so all you need to do is go to namastesql.com, then click on coding problems, right? So here we have different kind of problems like analytics, Python coding, ETL and data pipelines. So you can just filter on ETL and data pipelines, right? Currently there are three questions. We will add more questions. So we will work on the first question, category revenue ETL pipeline, right? So this is the ETL pipeline we will build today. Now this you can build using Python. Basically you can use pandas, or you can do using PySpark as well, right? So you can do anything. Let me reset my code. Okay, so let's understand what we need to do first, and then we will move on to create the pipeline, right? So this question is free. You don't have to install anything in your system. You can just directly come here and start writing your code. Okay, great. So this is the overall pipeline that we are building. So in this, we have two CSV files on GitHub. So we will see how we can read these CSV files directly. Then we need to do some data cleaning, either using PySpark or Pandas, right? So we will do using PySpark. Then we will do some transformations, right? Then we have to do some joins aggregation in the transformation part, right? We will create new columns, do aggregations, joins, and then we will display a final output. Okay, so this will be our pipeline. Okay, let's read it quickly. So a retail company has provided you with two data sets, right? One is orders.csv, one is product.csv, right? So orders has this data and products has this data. If you want to see data or download data, you can directly go to this link. So you will just copy this link from here and paste it. This is my orders data set, right? It has quite a good number of rows. Similarly, we have the products.csv. So if you want to practice in your local or anywhere else where you have access to PySpark, you can do it. So this is my products.csv. So you can copy this data, create file, and you can also build this ETL pipeline in your system and then copy paste your code here and just evaluate it, right? So you can do that as well. Okay, so these are the two files we have. We understood it. Now what we have to do, we have to read this data first into data frame from GitHub. We will see how, right? Then we need to transform the data, right? In transformation, there are many steps. So first step is data cleaning, right? So in orders data set, we have missing quantity, right? And we have to replace that with one. So if I go back to orders data set, let me go back to orders. You see for some of the columns, for example, order ID 2, right? The third column, quantity column is null. So we need to replace it with 1, right? So it should become 1. Second thing is this quantity column will not be of integer data type when you directly read, right? We will see. So we will convert it into integer data type as well. In the products data set, right, we have some category where values are null. So we have to convert it into unknown. So if I just go forward, you see one of the categories not present, empty. So we need to convert it into unknown. So we have to say it is unknown. So these are two data cleaning steps. Then we have to join these two data sets, orders and products based on product ID. Then we need to create a new column, revenue, which will be quantity into price, right? So if you see in my products.csv, I have the price, right, for each product. Now if I go back to orders.csv, here I have quantity, that a customer has bought how many quantities, for example 4 quantity, and what is the price I will see here, and I will multiply it and get the total revenue, right? Price into total quantity. So against each row I will have the revenue, here. Then I will aggregate it, right? For each category, I need to apply the aggregation and get the total revenue. Once it is there, I need to sort the output in descending order of total revenue, and this will be my expected output, right? So category, total revenue, and this is the output, right? So the only thing is we are not loading it anywhere because it is a platform. We don't have a space where we can load it, but we will see in future. We will modify a few things. We will give that feature. Maybe you can write it to S3 or some other place, right? But for now, we will just show the output, expected output like this. Okay, great. So let's get started. Now I need to read data from the GitHub, right? First, the extract part. Now, how do I read, right? Now, in PySpark, if you directly use read.csv method, you cannot read, right? There are multiple ways of reading data in PySpark from GitHub. One of the ways using Spark files. You can see the solution in that we have used the Spark files, and then we have added the file to the server and then reading it. Right? You can check that. I'll tell you some other method. Right? That method you can anyway check from the solution, but I will tell you a simpler solution. So what you can do, right? I'll let me remove it. What I will do, I will first read these two files in a pandas data frame and then convert that pandas data frame to a PySpark data frame, right? I'll say import pandas as PD, right? And I will say orders underscore PDF, pandas data frame I'm calling it, equal to pd dot read csv, and you can directly put this link in your read csv, right? So my URL is this orders URL. Similarly, I can read the products. So I'll say products PDF equal to read CIDV. This is the products URL. This will give you directly. So if I just show you print orders underscore PDF, it will show you the output. Okay, so we are able to see this is currently a pandas data frame. That's why you are seeing in that manner, right? Now, what we will do, we will create a PySpark data frame. So, what we will do, we will say df underscore orders. Now, this time I'm saying sorry, orders underscore df instead of PDF, right? Equal to spark dot data frame, create data frame, sorry, create data frame, right? D will be capital, I think. Yeah. So Spark dot create data frame, and I can directly pass this pandas data frame. Right. Similarly, I will create products df, and I will pass products pandas data frame. That's it. Now, if I do orders underscore df dot show, it will show me the PySpark data frame. This dot show method is working. It means it is a PySpark data frame, right? So I can show 20 rows. If I want to pass, let's say all the rows, maybe I will do, let's say 100. So I can pass 100. So it will show me 100 rows. But you understood it, right? So we are able to create the orders data frame and products data frame in PySpark. Great. Let's move forward. What we need to do next. So the next is first step is done, extracting into data frame. Now we will start with the transformation. So let me just comment. So this is my extract part. Extract, you can create functions as well and call those functions. I'm just creating it directly here, and now we will do transformation, sorry, data cleaning, right? Data cleaning. So let's start with data cleaning. So first step in data cleaning is that we have need to fill missing quantity values will one. So wherever quantity is missing, we need to fill one, right? So what we will do, we will say orders underscore df equal to orders underscore df dot fill na, right? And I will pass that key value pair, and I will say in quantity column quantity fill one, right? So wherever it is null or not available, right, we will convert it into one, right? Let's see if this is working or not. So we will say orders underscore df dot show, right? So let's run this. Okay, so now you see this was earlier none, now we are seeing as one, right? So this is perfectly working fine. Now next thing is, if you see the quantity column, right, it is not an integer, it should be ideally integer. We can even see that. So I will say print schema, right? Let's see what is the data type of our quantity column currently. Ideally quantity column should be integer, right? Here it is double, right? So we will, what we will do, we will convert it into an integer, right? So we will say orders df equal to orders df dot with column, right? Now what I will do, I will say with column, right? Sorry. So I will say with column, right? And quantity, right? Let me take some more space, right? From quantity column, you, what we need to do, we need to convert it into a integer type. So I will say f dot call, right? I have imported all the functions as f, right? So I will say f dot call, and which column? Quantity column. Let me copy this from here, right? And I'll say as type, right? As type, what it will do, or we will do cast here. Cast integer type, right? Integer type. So I will convert it into integer type. Integer type. Right. Now we need to have this integer type imported, right? So we need to import that. So let me take from here. So I'll just take this line, right? And I will say from PySpark.sql.types import integer type, right? So this integer type I'm using it. So I'm converting my quantity column to integer type, right? So I hope this will work. Now what we will do, we will again print orders df schema to know if we have converted it or not, right? So let's run this. Great. So now if you see quantity column is integer, right? So this is how you can change the data type of a column. Great. So with orders data set, these are the two things we had to do, right? And we have done it. Now let's move on to the product data set. And there will be one very interesting thing you will learn about product data set here. Okay, so let's move forward. I can just comment it this one. Now what I will do, I'll say, so you will say that we can use the same thing, right? So let me use this. So we need to replace category, right? So let me take products df equal to products df dot fill na, and you will say that category, right? We need to convert it into, if you see, unknown. So let me copy this unknown, and I will say convert it into unknown. Okay, great. Let's see if it is working or not, right? It is very interesting thing that you will learn. Let's run this. Now if you see, this category was none, right? But still it is not replacing it with unknown. The problem is, see, the quantity column came as a double column, right? From pandas. When I converted pandas to PySpark, it came as a double column and it was working fine, right? But problem here is category is a string column. So when it is getting converted into pandas to PySpark, it is taking this as a string. So none is not a null basically here, right? It is a string, nan, right? Now there are various ways to handle it, right? What we can do, we can convert it into none in my pandas data frame itself and then convert it to PySpark. Another way is, let's say you have read it already. What you can do, you can replace this string nan with unknown, right? So let's try that if that works. So what we will do, we will say, let me comment it, okay, and I will say products df equal to products df dot with column, right? Now what I will do here, I will just use regex replace function, right, to convert category none to unknown, right? So I will say dot with column, right? Column name is my category column, right? Let's take some more space. And similar to this, right? This is my column name, right? Sorry, what is this? Okay. And I'll say category, right? F dot regex replace, right? And I will say in category column, replace what? Replace NaN with unknown, unknown, right? Unknown. Okay, I think unknown spelling is wrong. Let me copy this. Okay. So what I'm saying, we don't need this. I'll just remove this, right? I'm saying on category column, use regex replace function. So I have imported functions as f and we'll use regex replace. And in the category column, wherever none is there, replace it with unknown, right? Let's see if this is working or not this time. Let me run this again. Uh, okay, so it is saying there is no module regex replace. Uh, regex replace. Okay, regular expression it is, my bad. Okay, regex regular expression, right? So I hope this should work. Yeah, this is working. And now you see we have the unknown instead of null, right? So it was coming as a string instead of a actual null value. That's fine. So we were able to handle it somehow. Great. Let's move forward. So next, what we need to do? Next, we need to merge these two data sets, right? Because we need to get quantity into price. So I want price along with my quantity column, right? So in a same table. So what we will do? We will do a join. So I will say, let's say merge df equal to orders underscore df, right? So orders underscore df, and I will join it with products df. So I'll say join and products underscore df. Now, what kind of join I want to do? I want to do inner join, right? So I'll say inner. So once I do inner join, I can do, I have to pass that on which column I want to do, right? So I have to say how actually, not type. How equal to inner, right? And how equal to inner. And I need to say one more thing, that I want this join to be on product ID. So I will say on equal to product ID. Okay, so two things I have passed, right? One is I need to join orders dataset with products on which column? Product ID. How? Inner join. And you can pass single quote or double quote. I think both works here. Great. Let's see if this is working or not. Okay, so this is working. You see, we have product ID, order ID, quantity, order date. This is coming from orders dataset. Reason also, and category and price is coming from the products dataset, right? So we have everything in place. Now we need to drive a new column which will be quantity into price. So for example, revenue will be 4 into 200, 800, right? That new column we need. So we will say merge df equal to merge df dot with column, right? Column name I want is I want revenue, right? So let's say revenue. Right? And what will be the derivation? Derivation will be multiplication of both the columns. So I will say f dot call, right? This is the column I want. I want revenue, right? Revenue, sorry, not revenue. It is quantity, right? So let's say take quantity into price, right? So I will say quantity and multiply it by price. Cool. So there will be a new column whose derivation is this, right? And this is the, let's see now if it is all fine or not. Okay, so now if you see, we have a new column revenue where you will see 4 into 200, 800, 20 into 5000, and so on and so forth, right? So we have the revenue column now for each line item here. Great. Now next, what we need to do, this is the final step, I think, right? We need to create category wise total revenue, right? So category wise total revenue and sort it in the descending order. So we need to use group by for that, right? So let's start. So let me comment it for now. Okay, so now what I will do, I will say my new aggregated df will be aggdf, right? Let me create a pipeline here. Now what I will do, I will use group by. So I'll say merge df dot group by, right? Group by which column? Group by category column, right? Category wise we need. So I'll say category. Category. Great. So group by category, right? And then what I want total of revenue, right? Group by category, and then I want total revenue. So I will say dot agg, right? And here I will pass that I need f dot sum of revenue. Again, sum is a function. I imported it as f, right? Functions as f. So f dot sum, and I want total revenue. Now I will also alias it. So I will say dot alias. Basically, how I want to see this column in the output, right? So I will say dot alias, and then I will say make it as total revenue. Great. So it will do group by and give me the sum of revenue, and the column name will be total revenue. Right. Let's see what we get from here. So aggdf dot show. Okay, so we are getting for each category total revenue we are getting. The only thing pending is we need to sort it in the descending order. So furniture will come on top because it has the highest revenue, and so on and so forth, right? So in this only I will add dot order by, right? So I have to say that order the result by total revenue in the descending order. So I will say f dot column. So this is the new column, right? So this is the column by which I want to sort it, right? And here I will say in the descending order. So DESC. By default, it will be ascending, but I'm saying order the result by f dot column in the descending order. And then finally, I'm doing the show. Let's see if it is working or not. Great. So we are able to sort the data as well. Furniture 182250, and I think it is as per the expected results, right? So I hope this helps. Let me run evaluation, and this is a correct answer. Okay, so what we learned few things, that how we can read data from a URL, right? HTTPS. We have two methods. One is what I have shown you. Another you can see from the solution. Once that is there, we are doing some data cleaning. So we have filled any value with one, and then I am casting quantity column as integer type. Then I'm replacing none with unknown, right? Then we are doing a join between orders and products df. Then we are doing aggregation, right? We are driving a new column here, revenue, and then we are doing aggregation as well as the sorting, right? So this kind of pipelines will help you build confidence working with PySpark, right? We have more questions. You can check it out. I hope it helps. Thanks for watching the video. Please do share with your friends. Like this video. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.